So I'm practicing down here.
Practice?
This one in particular is pretty bad. Hammer it down. All done welding the piece in. Check it out, guys. Stay to the end of the video. I've got an update for you. Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt and we are back almost on the same thing. So this is gonna be a little bit different video. It's probably gonna be a lot shorter and it's just gonna be updates because guys, this is real. This is how long it takes. I'm still working on repairing the rust in my SSP. In fact, I haven't even started on this side yet. You can look at the rust over here, how bad it is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a couple other videos on the process we're going through here and I will link them down in the description below. I actually think I've got a playlist on that, so I'll put that down there if you want to check those out. But we are in the middle of repairing the rust and this is just a slow process, it takes a lot of time. Today, I hopefully get started on this side and let's see if we can finish up on this side. Now, this is exactly where we were at the last time. Got to do some more welding, hopefully get this welded in. So that is what we are all about today. I think you guys are going to see a few more videos like this where it's just more highlights and the progress because it just takes time. Once we get through this though, then things will really start slapping together. We've got an engine ready to go in the car. Actually, we are changing plans on that. I've got another video I'm filming about what I'm doing with all the cars and that one is basically a garage update. We're gonna go through all the details on that. So check that one out. But anyway, right now, car's all ready. I'm gonna start welding and then hopefully show you guys some progress here in just a little bit. What we're looking at here, guys, is me learning how to weld. So last couple uploads I had on this car, I was welding and really it's going slow because first time welder here. But let me show you guys, I'm actually practicing right now. So before I get into welding this, Matt has already done these spots and this is what we want. These are good welds right here. And of course they'll be grinded down at the end. Last time, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's the black in here is like little holes. And so that's still where the metal is not as solid as it needs to be. So I'm practicing down here. These four are my welds here, not the circles, but this one in particular is pretty bad. You can see I've got some real gaps there. I did a little bit better down in here. But so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing some practice welding. I've got some clear surface area here. And then Matt made these little holes down here. So I have to fill the holes, right? Because that's what I've actually got to do here on the car. You notice I got little holes right here and here. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully get a knack for this welding, right? And this can go a lot quicker. Now I'm not showing you guys all this because I've shown enough of this already, but just wanted to kind of keep you guys up to date with where we're at on this. So hopefully I can knock this out pretty quick as I get better with it. So you know, first time welder, but I guess this is technically my fourth time now, so should be getting better at this point. I will say of the two so far, this is easier than drag racing. In case you missed my drag racing videos, I do have a whole playlist of that. Those are fun times. So this is a little easier and a little less embarrassing. So anyway, let me go ahead and start getting to practicing.
We talking about practice. Practice? But we talking about practice right now.
Okay, I have been practicing with my welding Darth Vader helmet.
Practice?
Yeah, pretty awesome. I love this helmet. But anyway, these are my extra practices that I've been doing. And these, like I showed you guys, I filled some of the holes. I'm getting better. I'm actually getting a lot better. I'm still building the weld a little too high, but I think I've done enough to go ahead and actually try it on my car. I'm ready to try it on the car. Let's see how it comes out. The bigger you make the welds, the more they have to be ground down, the more you can have little spots in them that you have to go back and do. Like these over here, all these little black pits you see, so hopefully I'll get it right. Hopefully I'll get it right. All right, I'll catch up with you guys right after I do it and I'll show you what the results are. All right guys, it's been about 4 hours for me, like literally 1 second for you, but I did get started on here like I said I was gonna do. And I believe Matt did this one, and this one I think is what he did, but I did this, and then this whole side up here, coming up here, that is all welded, and then this was really tricky here around this curve, but that is all welded up now. And you see all the clamps, so what we're working on now is getting this metal, this new piece, really close as we can, adjusted, lined up the right way, using the hammer to do that. I definitely showed that in another upload before, but basically, all you gotta do, hammer it down once you get it clamped, make sure the metal's touching, right? So we did that, and now we're putting finishing touches. So like I said, today is just nothing but highlights really quick. Pretty close on this side though, not too much longer. So see if we can finish up. I'll show you guys what it looks like. We are gonna grind these down too, these welds. You know, obviously it's not gonna stay bubbled up like that. So we'll see when we grind them down. Hopefully we don't have spots we have to go back and weld. If we do, we will. All right, all done welding the piece in. Check it out, guys. We have a complete A-pillar now. These ones up here. So we're gonna grind this down, but I want to show you guys what it looks like right now. So completely done, solid in there, not going anywhere. So I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think about this. But yeah, so next thing we're gonna do is grind it down, and I'll show you what that looks like right after. Okay guys, we did some grinding. Well, Matt did some grinding, I didn't do some grinding. I hurt my arm again. If you guys remember from a couple uploads ago, it kind of been hurting, and so yeah, it flared back up again today. So Matt did some of the grinding here. I wanna show you this seam though. Let's take a look at this. Look how nice. Now we're just down to the bare metal, but that's welded in, that's solid. And let me bring Matt in here real quick. Matt, you and I were just talking. Basically, when we had to cut this out, yeah, I had to drill through that, and that was kind of a pain. It'd be even harder now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, those welds are a lot bigger and a lot stronger now.
Yeah, this is solid, man. This is like, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And then right here, what kind of weld was it we did again? Was it that you did right here? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, actually, and it's funny, the weld wasn't even right here. It was along here.
Look at that. I can't even see where it is. It's so perfect.
There's a little bump right there where I didn't grind down all the way. You can still kind of see the weld. I'll probably knock that down later.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we did is I just did little tack welds. Okay. So, you know, we start at one end and you do like a 1.5 second little trigger pull. You get a little circle of a weld. And this metal can get so thin, or is thin enough, that heat's enough to distort it. So that's why we just didn't like run a stitch. You do a little spot, and then you come over here, do a little spot, and give it time to cool.
Right.
And then this particular one, we didn't go side to side because the metal didn't perfectly match up. So we started right here, it was matched up, and then we started bending it to line it up. We weld a little bit, bend it, line up the rest of it, and we just kept doing that process until we were all the way across.
That's when we had all the clamps here, and when we'd move them around, line it up, and then beat it with a hammer, get it in line. Yep. And it was so good, I thought we welded up here, but no, it was somewhere right around here.
There, yeah, you see that little bump right there.
See guys, it looks so good, I can't even tell where the weld spot was. So obviously we didn't grind these down. We're gonna save that for next time.
Yep, that side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's recap real quick. So now that we've got this side done right here, we're almost done. We have to do the same exact thing on the other side. We're cutting this out, the piece behind it for the door. Yep. All that we're cutting out.
Yeah, it had all the same rust, so you know, let's not leave any at this point.
Exactly. Why do this and not do that?
Right.
And then after that side's done, that's when we have the cowl ready. We put the cowl down, right?
Yeah, and you've had Tiff working on the cowl, and it's almost ready. So yeah, once we get these two A-pillars welded in, we'll be ready to go right into installing the cowl.
And now we're going to sandblast after the cowl's on?
Yeah, and the only reason we're doing that, I would rather have, where it's exposed to the elements, I would rather have our epoxy primer on the metal instead of a weld-through primer. The weld-through primer we only want between 2 sandwich layers. So after we put the cowl on, not only are we going to weld off the exposed weld-through primer, the bare steel, but you wanted to paint the engine compartment.
I do. That's what started this whole debacle.
So we can actually paint the engine compartment at that point, but to do that, we need to start where we were. If you remember, you were supposed to sandblast like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So then we can pick
maybe
up
4. So guys, you remember when I said I was going to sandblast my engine bay and drop the engine in? Well, that's how we ended up here. But oh, and actually I forgot, we are going to need to sandblast that side like we did this side outside first too, right? So a couple more times of sandblasting outside. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So that's the update on this. Again, Matt's from Fox Mustang Restoration. I don't think I said that at the beginning of the video. That's where we're doing all this. Not that he does this kind of work, but they do sell all kinds of Foxbody parts. And hopefully we'll be putting some of those on my car. We just need to get it a little further along. I don't think it needs new parts right now.
Not yet.
Not yet, but it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can count the MIG wire, but you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Used a lot of wire, guys. Okay, anyway, I'm getting better at this, and I didn't have any time lapse. That's got to be a first. There's no time lapse in this video, Matt. There's no time lapse. You can't believe that, can you? He's uh-oh. So anyway, something a little different for you, but this is the kind of the plan going forward. All right, for those of you that stuck around until the end of the video, obviously I'm wearing a different shirt. This is a different day for me, but I did want to go ahead and put this in because of the situation that's been going on with the SSP lately. You just saw an update. It was an update like I really haven't done before. You know, there was no time lapse or anything like that. You know, time lapse, just really short, you know, stints of what it was. And honestly, I debated on whether putting it up at all. Why? Because it's very similar to what I've already done. The problem I'm really having is twofold with that, okay? So I'm doing kind of the same thing I've already done, just to the different side. You guys already know the steps. It's just really, my arm's getting tired, I keep switching hands. It's just really time consuming. And the big problem I have is content. So I said this in my last upload, I haven't missed an upload since September 26, 2018. And as you guys know, I upload 2 times a week, right? And so I haven't missed an upload, and I don't want to miss one, but I also want to make the content interesting. And that's why in this video in particular, I just didn't do as much time lapse. I skipped around a lot of steps, and I cannot hold my arm like this sitting down. I gotta stand up. Yeah, this is much easier. I don't know, I guess I don't have good arm strength sitting down. So what happened there though is that it was a much shorter video, as you know, and I just kind of wanted to level with you guys. The ones that are still watching, you're my core audience. You watch almost every video and always like, comment, that kind of thing. And so I really appreciate you guys. The channel would not be what it is without you, right? If you can't have a stable watch base, you're never gonna grow. So I really appreciate all you guys that are still watching. But what I'm struggling with, and I want to keep it real on this channel, I think I always do, is how much of this content to show. I mean, guys, we've got to do the whole other side of the car still. I've got to rip all the metal out. I mean, everything I already talked about in this video, and it's going to be the same thing, right? So I'm trying to figure out different ways to mix it up. I am looking at getting some different content from other areas. I'm going to be looking into that. So I have some different things coming for you guys, but you may not see a whole lot on the SSP other than these little mini highlights. In fact, I might even do shorter videos, like maybe only 5-minute videos on what's going on with the SSP without regurgitating myself. You know, I don't want to make it boring for you guys. And right now I'm in the thick of it. And let me tell you, it's not exciting at all. Repairing rust is not an exciting thing, but it has to be done. Now, when it's all done, all put back together and painted, I'll be really happy about it. But I can only go out there once a week. For these guys that don't know, the car's at Matt's shop. He has all the tools, he uses tools out there. I can only go out there 1 time a week. I mean, my job, my regular day job is so busy, I can't get out there on weeknights. Matt's shop's actually about 45 minutes away from where I live, maybe 40. And I just can't get out there all the time, you know, to do what I want to do. So it's pretty much Saturdays only. I'm also learning. So the welding is going really slow because of that. And let me tell you what, if anybody thinks that Matt is like doing all the work, he's not. He's sitting right there and he's showing me how to do it, but I'm putting in all those welds, guys, and it's slow and time consuming. You got to do it right? And this is like, whatever I said earlier in the video, 3rd, 4th time welding. Anyway, I just want to give you guys an update on what's going on, why the videos might get a little different here in the future. They may not be as long and they may not be as detailed. We got to get over this hump. Once we get over the hump, we can get the cowl back on, then things will really start to flow. I can get Tar Heel Fox in here. Actually, she's right there. I can get Tar Heel Fox over to Matt's shop. We can get the engine swapped and all of that. So like I covered in the last video, everything I'm doing with all my vehicles. But yeah, just want to get real with you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna cut back to the shop and let myself close it out, but I wanted to go ahead and record this afterwards because I felt like this video needed a little bit of explanation. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. And I guess you can let me know down in the comments. You guys normally sound off anyway, but you know, does this make sense, or do you want to see everything, every little detail I do on the other side is normal? Just let me know your opinions. You know, I'll make my own decision, but I always like to get feedback, and maybe I base my decisions off of that sometimes. So we'll see. Anyway, back to me to close this out. Again, if you missed the other uploads, you're wondering what we're talking about, you want to see it in action, I've got a playlist of that down below. So that's it for this one. Catch you guys up on the next update on the SSP. Not going anywhere like I said before. So if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, or hit the like button if you want my arm to get better. That'll work too. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on Gearhead 704.